So the other day, I went to my friend's birthday party and the theme was monochrome. So you had to come in a particular look and a particular color, and the food you brought also had to be in the same color. So of course, I chose white because that's the color of Jesus' skin. I'm gonna wear the outfit just to take a picture of it, and I'm gonna post it because I looked really fucking good and I don't know why I didn't take a picture of myself. Probably body dysmorphia. Anyway, so the point was to also cook or bring a white dish. I chose vegan white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. To preface, this is my first time baking ever. I think I've made like a pumpkin pie for a holiday maybe a decade ago, and I'm pretty sure, I don't think I made the pie crust from scratch. It was easy as fuck to make, but also baking vegan is really tough because it's a lot of like coconut oil and other things. Like there's no egg, so the fluffiness that you would expect to get is harder to achieve. I will just tell you right now that the cookies did not turn out like I expected them to. My problem is I got the recipe off of ChatGPT. I said, hey, ChatGPT, give me 3 vegan desserts that use white ingredients. And the first 2 that it suggested had coconut in it. I don't really like shredded coconut. I feel like the texture is fucking disgusting. And so the third one was the white chocolate macadamia nut cookie. So I went to Target and Whole Foods, got all the ingredients I needed, and I made them, but the one ingredient that I substituted, I chose almond flour instead of regular flour. And honestly, the only reason I did that is I thought almond flour would give it like a nuttier flavor. Like I thought it would be a lot more delicious with the almond flour than the regular flour. But what I didn't know until after I baked them was that you need more almond flour. Like almond flour doesn't rise like regular flour does. So by the time I made them and they were in the oven, they were just like, I put too big of clumps on the tray. And so instead of puffing, they were just like spreading, and they all just spread into this one giant fucking cookie. And I learned my lesson. So tonight, right now, it is what? 12:40 in the morning. I just binged like 5 episodes of Sex and the City. I'm on season 2. Fun fact about me. The first time I ever saw Sex and the City was the movie in theaters. I had never seen the television show at all because I didn't grow up with cable, so I just never watched the show. But now that it's on Netflix, I'm trying to watch them all. I still watch And Just Like That, even though it's terrible comparatively. I mean, it's all pretty bad. So yeah, I just binged a bunch of Sex and the City, and like my OCD brain, I was so irritated that I fucked up the cookies that, and this was last night, by the way, the party, I'm still thinking about it, and I have all the ingredients, and I'm not tired, so let's make vegan cookies, vegan white chocolate macadamia nut cookies the right way. You gotta do the cooking by the book. The gag is they're actually really simple to make. I fucked up on the ingredients. Okay, first up we have almond flour. The recipe asked for regular flour, but again, I just thought that this would be nuttier and just give it a better flavor. Didn't know what I was doing, almond flour. The other one was coconut sugar, but it also listed syrup as an alternative. So I went with syrup because finding coconut sugar at Target or anywhere else, I was like, this isn't gonna happen. We've got fake white chocolate chips. I believe these are like soy based, so there's no dairy. Oh yeah, there's a lot of sugar, brown rice syrup, sunflower lectin, vanilla extract, so no dairy. We love that. Dry roasted macadamia nuts, salted. I got this coconut oil just to like spray the pan. Salt, I went with pink sea salt because this was the only like cunt fancy looking salt that they had. I didn't want to get like regular iodized salt, that's boring. Vanilla extract, organic. I always try to get organic and non-GMO because I don't even know what GMO is, but I feel like it's probably not good for you. Baking soda, and then lastly, coconut oil. Again, this is vegan. There's no eggs in this mixture, okay. Is this following me? It's supposed to follow me. It feels off. Okay, yeah, it's following me. This camera is cunt, y'all. If you want like a really good selfie vlogger influencer camera, this is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I got like the creators pack. You've seen me with this before, but it's just like, it's just so convenient to have. I could make it zoom in on my butt, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Okay, let's get to cooking. So I just gotta put the dry ingredients in one bowl, the wet ingredients in one bowl, and then later add the nuts crushed. I gotta chop them up, and the chocolate chips, the white chocolate chips. So in one bowl, you're gonna have the almond flour, the salt, and the baking soda. And then in the other bowl, you put the sugar, or sorry, you put the syrup, the vanilla extract, melted coconut oil. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, and almond milk in the other bowl. And then you mix these two together and then you add in the macadamia nuts and the fake chocolate chips. So let's get started. Oh, and also I'm gonna put the recipe in the description of this, so be ready for that. The funniest thing about watching Sex and the City now, going back, is basically what everyone told me, which is that it doesn't age very well. I definitely saw it right away. Like there's a scene where they're getting their toes painted or at the salon and they're talking about like social caste system, and they say that as for presumably Asian women are like painting their toes, and it was just like a really awkward moment. There was another scene where Samantha gets stood up by her date and she runs to the bathroom, and the Pakistani waiter who's fucking cute, is like flirting with her and kisses her, but she turns him down. And that's like the only guy on the show ever that she has turned down. And I'm like, oh, because he's Pakistani, like can't fuck the Pakistani guy. Like that's fucked up. I know there's an episode 2 where Samantha starts dating a black dude and gets into it with his sister. I don't remember how, I mean, I'm sure it's problematic because I'm sure she's talking about like his big dick or whatever, but yeah, the show definitely doesn't age well. And Carrie is toxic as fuck. Everyone likes to hate on Miranda because she's uptight and Charlotte's fucking Charlotte, you know, and Samantha. I feel like Samantha is everyone's favorite behind Carrie because Carrie's the main star, but Carrie was so fucking toxic in that show. And I'm sure everyone who has seen the show is like, duh, but I get it. Like, I understand. Carrie is very toxic. Oh, shit. Might be a little too much vanilla. It's all right. The other problematic thing about Sex and the City is Carrie, not only was she a liar, but the way that she talks to Miranda is so fucked up. There was an episode where Carrie is bitching about Big when he moved to Paris, and Miranda's like, we all agree that you should go see a shrink. And then Carrie doesn't say anything bad about anyone else. She just looks at Miranda. She's like, well, you would need a shrink because you're always in your head, which like, fuck you, bitch. And the thing, Miranda just took it. Miranda always takes it. She doesn't fight back. She never argues. There was an episode where Carrie ditched Miranda at a bar. It was actually the episode where Miranda met Steve because he was bartending at the bar, but Carrie ditched Miranda to have dinner with Big and was just like, okay, whatever, and like never apologized or anything, but Miranda met Steve. But yeah, that show is toxic as fuck. Carrie is toxic as fuck. I might even have to actually add a little bit more. But we'll see what happens. I'm 35 years old and I'm currently dating someone. We just reached our 5-month, and this is the longest real relationship that I've ever had. I've dated guys in the past, but it was always either unspoken dating, it was just fucking and I thought we were dating, and because I always feared rejection and I always knew that I went for toxic men, or not necessarily toxic, but men who were unavailable, that I always left things unspoken because 1, I knew what was going on, and 2, I think being afraid of rejection is real. Now I don't care as much, but I'm sure there's trauma alongside there. But after watching Sex and the City, again, these are 4 white women, unrealistic, wealthy, even though they try to portray them as not wealthy on the show. Like, they're all rich as fuck. But it's been really eye-opening having my current partner because we haven't gotten in arguments with each other, but we're both recovering from a lot of trauma, and we both go to therapy and take antidepressants, et cetera, et cetera. But every time we're off or something's off, one of us brings it up, and it's always so thoughtful. And it's always so intentional. Coming from Los Angeles, where I feel like a lot of my friend group, we were all going through so much trauma, and it always felt like we weren't communicating with each other like we should have been. That's a part of the reason why I left Los Angeles, but it just feels so refreshing. I'm not saying I'm completely healed, bitch. We're a long way from healed, but it feels good to be with somebody who is going through the same journey and who sees me and gives me space. And thinking of Sex and the City and how 98% of all the problems that the women have on their dates are because they're not communicating at all. And granted, like, I forget the quote she said, I think I wrote it down, but there was an ending of one episode where Carrie was like, men can't change, but women always will, or some shit like that. And I forget the context of the episode, but I'm just like, ugh, God. I mean, this is another reason why that show didn't age very well. Yeah, communication is key, y'all. Here's how this looks. Consistency-wise, it still feels a little runny, but I feel like I need more flour. I don't know how it's really supposed to be because, like with eggs, you know what you're gonna get. With vegan shit, you have no clue what you're gonna get because it doesn't rise like it's supposed to. Now, I looked at a little chart online where it's like, here's what your cookies look like if you add too much of something or don't add enough. They definitely didn't have enough flour last time. But I actually think this is what I want. It's like, oh yeah, it's not runny. This is what we want, baby. Oh, I love it. See, but then if you put too much flour in, they don't come out right either. It's just like, God, is there really there's no easy way to do this. Watch me become a baker. I always said like, I hate baking. It seemed like too much work. It seemed boring, but hell, I watch Great British Baking Show, okay? I can learn a thing or two. Dylan's too young for me. I think he's like 20, but if you watch Great British Baking Show, you know exactly who the fuck Dylan is.
Praise to the Lord, the Almighty, the King of creation.
All right, now that this is mixed to perfection, I'm gonna eyeball. No, I don't want to eyeball it. I want this to be I want this to be as perfect as it can be. Oh, I have to crush up the nuts. Well, I own 4 of the same size knife. It's tiny. I don't cook, so why do I need knives? I don't, until I do right now. So Sex and the City, I'm on season 2. I think I only have 4 episodes left. I just finished the episode where Charlotte double booked, or she booked 2 dates back to back, and as she was kissing the second one, the first one was leaving her apartment because he left her soup because she faked being sick to get out of that date to go to the second one. Oh, what was so iconic about Sex and the City? Like, is there or was there ever like a black equivalent, or not even equivalent, but as we know, oftentimes the best about culture is stolen from black culture. And so if there was an alternative to Sex and the City, black version, I wonder what it could be. Honestly, I know it was a movie, but Waiting to Exhale, honestly, I feel like it was Waiting to Exhale. Wouldn't fucking surprise me, because why wouldn't it be stolen from something else? Anyways, getting back to my relationship that is so successful, it makes me so happy. I want to know, people who are subscribed to this channel, can you leave a comment below and tell me what brought you here? What initially brought you to my channel? I'm going to guess that most of you came here because of the Polestar, and then you also stayed or came back for the Kia EV9. I know I got a lot of, most of the subscribers I have came when I was doing the Polestar stuff. So now that I'm venturing out into lifestyle, a little bit of politics, a little bit of pop culture, a little bit about my personal life, are you still interested? It's like, I want to get on my Quenlin Blackwell YouTube fun bag.
Bow! That's when the edit would start.
Looking at a legend in the flesh.
But I also think that I need to stop being so pragmatic. I'm very pragmatic, and I have Virgo rising. Oftentimes I don't do anything unless it's curated, which is actually why I'm actually really stoked that I decided to do this video and record that I'm doing this, because I was gonna do this anyway. Like, I was sitting there watching Sex and the City, and I was like, you need to make these cookies. And so now I'm making the cookies. Who is it? Emma Chamberlain? That's what she did. She sat in her rich ass kitchen and just cooked food and drove to yoga and sat in her car and just talked to people. And she is now, I mean, I think she was a Nepo baby, so like maybe it doesn't fucking matter. But now she like owns her coffee company, and she still does YouTubes, and she goes to Fashion Week. And now granted, I am not a model. I've modeled. Oh, I almost just dropped all those fucking nuts in the trash. Okay. I've modeled. I'm not a model. Oof. I hope one of these days, one of the fashion designers, because I know a few of them, a few good ones, that they spill the tea on the fashion industry, because from what I know, just like everything else, it's very superficial and people get used and it's toxic. I feel like everyone's aspirations in life, I mean, I guess my aspirations are similar in that I have this platform and want to build a community. I don't really care. I don't want to be famous. I want to be heard. I want to share my experiences, and I want to relate to people. I want to relate to everyone. I want to relate to everyone. Now I feel like I mixed in too much flour, but maybe this is how it's supposed to be. I'm just limp-wristed and have tendinitis. I feel like this is how it was supposed to look in the first place. I think this is what the vegan gods intended, is this right here. Before I put these in, I was gonna say about Megan, I just watched Megan Thee Stallion's documentary, and one thing that I realized is that people on the internet will just say whack ass shit. She was shot by Tory Lanez. He admitted it. There was evidence. And I don't know how many, I'm assuming thousands of people came to Tory's defense and even went so far as to tell Megan that she deserved it, that Tory should have finished the job. So mind-bogglingly disgusting that she had to go through that. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is going back to fame. I don't want to be famous. I just want to be heard. I think that a lot of people can relate to me and my life and my experiences, my struggles, my pains, my wins. But I do deserve respect, and I demand respect. But I don't want to be famous. That shit seems gross. I would much rather delete social media and be like an anonymous face and just have a voice. My time's coming. When I made these yesterday, I did 3 rows of 4 on each tray, which, as you saw in the picture, because there wasn't enough flour, they all just melted into each other. So I'm doing 2 rows of 4 this time, giving them much more space. Again, I don't think they're gonna melt down like they did, but because there's no egg, even though I feel like this is enough flour, if they're gonna melt down, I don't want them to melt into each other because it's just not gonna work. I'm also gonna I'm only gonna cook 1 batch, so that way if they look whack, I can just add more flour to this. I don't think I'm supposed to add more flour after it's already been mixed and sitting, but like, I spent a shit ton of money on these ingredients, okay? Like, I really want these cookies to work out. I wasn't actually crying, but if you believed me, book me to be an actor on a Hollywood set. Just kidding, I don't want to be famous, but I do want to be rich. Let's get that straight. Oh, do good, babies, do good. I believe in you, fuckers. They've been in for 9 minutes. They look so light, but I'm afraid that they're burning on the bottom. I'm gonna take them out. They look so much better, like they look good, but I just pushed one and it's like soft. It feels like it's not finished inside. What am I doing wrong? They look really good. Like they look like cookies, and the ones before didn't look like cookies, but they're soft. I can like press, I don't know if they just need to cool. So here's what I'm gonna do. Okay? I'm gonna let them cool for like 10 minutes. I'm gonna leave the oven preheated. I'm gonna leave my little mixture bowl. I'm gonna let it just sit here because I don't want to cook the rest of it, and for them to not turn out. So I'm sure it's not good for me to like leave the dough just sitting on the counter or being unused. I'm sure it's like oxidizing or something's happening to it, but I want to get these right. So I'm gonna let these cool, and I'm gonna come back and let you know if they're sustainable, if they're edible. All right, so I put the second batch in because these are actually, now that they're cooling down, I mean, this one's a little squishy. I know they're supposed to be chewy, but like, I know they look a little yellow. I just get so nervous that they're going to burn. Let me look at the bottom. Fuck. But I put the other ones in. So the recipe says 8 to 10 minutes. I let the other ones cook for 9. I'm gonna let these go for a full like 10 and a half and just let them get a little bit crispier. And I think they will be perfect. I put these in for another 4 minutes because they felt kind of mushy. The recipe said 8 to 10, I ate that one. The recipe said 8 to 10 minutes until the edges are golden brown. So like the edges started getting brown, so I freaked out, but these are the second batch. I let them get crisper, they're firmer. I hope the bottoms aren't burnt. I don't think they are, but the fact that I had to cook these for double the time is good for me to know. I'm gonna let them cool, BRB. To recap, I cooked the first batch for 10 minutes, took them out. They were a little squishy. I put them back in for 3 more minutes, took them out. They were still too squishy, as you can see by what's left behind. The second batch, however, honestly, baked to fucking perfection. They're still soft, but they're not gooey. They're golden brown. Here's the first batch. Even taking some of these off the tray and putting them in here, like this one's, yeah, they're falling apart. They're gonna be really good. They're not as clearly you saw the picture from the first ones. They're still gonna be okay, but this is how they're supposed to look. I'm guessing it has to be the almond flour because the recipe says with regular flour, 8 to 10 minutes. There's no, 8 to 10 minutes is not enough time. Just not enough time. 8 to 10 minutes is how quickly our country is falling apart after the election results. But for these cookies, they need like 15. So moving forward, if I use almond flour, I'm gonna cook them for double the recommended time, 15 or 16 minutes, I think is gonna work. If I use regular flour, maybe I'll try the 8 to 10 minutes. Just watch them. I was sitting on the floor just staring at them. You can't see because it's off camera, but I'm literally just touching them all and they feel and look fucking incredible. All right, let's see. I'm gonna take the smallest one. This one looks quaint and cute. So first, nothing gooey. Oh, that is what a cookie should look. Oh my fucking God. Okay, moment of truth. I already ate one of the first batch gooey ones. It was good, but it was gooey. This is like solid. This is a good one. This is the good one right here, okay? Moment of truth, ready? Here we go. Oh my God, wow. I did that. So they're because there's macadamia nuts, they're very nutty. The white chocolate chips, as you can see, they don't melt because it's not real chocolate. It's like fake chocolate. Like, oh, it's still like, it looks gooey on the inside still. So maybe I could have cooked it longer, but maybe that's just because they're vegan and that's just how it goes. It's full of syrup and like sugar and oil. So maybe they just need to cool overnight. I'm really happy with these. They stay intact when I bite them. Wow. I think it was Ivanka Trump in First Wives clip at the end where she says, don't get mad, get everything. When I cooked that first batch, I was pissed. I was like, I just spent $100 on ingredients. I was taking them to a party. Like, how did I fuck these up? I still took them and people ate them. I don't know how. I just like cut them up, like separated them, and it was just basically like fucking, it was just like gooey, sugary cookie bark, and people were kind of picking at it. This is how it's supposed to be. And if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Okay, babes, it's like 2 in the morning, almost 2:30 in the morning. I feel really good. I feel really happy about this. I'm gonna go watch some more Sex and the City. I'm probably just gonna finish season 2. I've only got 4 episodes left. It'll take about an hour and a half. Do you bake? If you bake, do you bake vegan exclusively? If so, give me some tips, give me some recipes. I would love to hear how I can make this better next time. Also, since we're talking about Sex and the City and relationships, email me at editor@thesetstandard.com. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I'm gonna put it in the description. I wanna know if there's something you want to tell your partner or have lied to your partner about and like haven't told them the truth. So either you lied to your partner or there's something you want to tell them but you haven't told them. Email it to me. It will stay anonymous. Maybe I'll answer it. No, I will absolutely definitely answer it in the next video because I'm on my Sex and the City couldn't help but wonder moment. Until next time.